Hey, welcome back. It's another episode of Broker Talk. Broker Talk is a 30-minute show revealing behind the scenes of what agents do and how they do it. And I am so thrilled to have Tonya Marie Upton with us today. She is an icon agent. That means that she sells lots and lots of homes. Tanya has had an approach to business where she lives to serve. My wife hates it when I say that. You sound like you're working for somebody, but describe what you mean by live to serve, Tanya.
Just really being a resource and helping other people reach their goals, their dreams. That's the main thing, just helping others reach it as where they want to go, whether they're
Right,
buying a house. I love serving my clients buying homes. I love serving my agents build their business. So I just have a heart of, I guess, like your wife, serving, but I have a heart of helping. I really want to help other. I think if I was to put it in a sentence, it would be help others reach their goals and fulfill their dreams. And that's
right,
really important to me. It gives me life and energy.
right.
Love it.
Right. And it's so exciting to be driving around your community and say, I worked on that one. I worked on that one, you know?
I've been in that
Yeah.
house.
I wonder if they painted that bathroom.
I know it's funny the things you think, but that's true. 100%. Yep.
Yeah, yeah. I always wonder if it's a good Halloween house,
Yeah.
if the kids are saying, I want to go to that one. Um, One of the questions that I ask people when I first start working with them, and I know that you agree with this, that you have to listen to what people are saying. And there used to be a whole breed of agents that sold you only what their office had to sell. Um, those agencies have kind of gone away because that's not the way that you get people the right properties for them. But one
Well,
of
I
the
think, oh,
go
sorry.
go
I'm
ahead.
sorry. I think technology plays in that. Yeah.
Yeah, but if you don't talk to them, you have no idea what they want. And, they say, well, here's my price point, and the price point, I'm not going to mention price points because the price points here are different than the price points there, different than the price points in your neighborhood. So it was, once you know the price point, 3 bedrooms, 2 bathrooms, that's the holy grail. That's kind of like what sells and sells and sells. But that could be X amount or X times four amount. Uh, and so you have to listen to what they're saying and then provide them with what they're saying. So, one of the ways that I do this, because you don't know at the beginning, people will say, uh, I don't want a ranch house. And then all of a sudden they end up in a ranch house. How did that happen? Uh, well, people tell you kind of what they want, but I always ask, you've lived in more than one house in your life. Tell me about your favorite house and the favorite room in that house. And they'll say things like, oh, I loved my bedroom because when I woke up, there was always sun. It was coming up and I just felt happy. Well, that's an east facing bedroom. Okay, now I got it. They will tell you things and you know how houses work that, okay, I need that. Or another one I get all the time. I loved our dining room. My mom could be making something in the kitchen and I could smell it, but I'm in there doing homework and all our friends would come over. So now, open space in a big dining room.
Hmm.
Um, and so you give them what they're looking for, I think is a key. What are some of the things that you ask that give you a sense of what the other person wants?
I try to build a relationship, asking them just about themselves, things they like to do. Are they more of a lifestyle house? Are they wanting to live somewhere that they can live out their lifestyle? Do they run? Do they ride bikes? Do they travel a lot? Do they need to get on the interstate? So I'm always thinking of like, what does their day look like? I'm always saying, where do you work?
Exactly.
What do you like to do after work? Do you guys like eating out a lot? I need to be around a lot of grocery stores. That's just the way I operate. I don't even cook that much, but I'm like constantly running. I have all my favorite places. So I
Yeah,
ask them, what are your favorite grocery stores? Like, what are your favorite grocery stores? Because if we have
sure.
a lot of clients from out of state, and I just ask questions like that. Your favorite places to eat, your lifestyle, and groceries are
Right.
such groceries are huge.
Well,
So
churches are huge as well. If you're
yeah.
a person of faith, you want to make sure that whatever denomination you are, that is
Oh, sure.
in that town. And but again, this is just asking questions and listening, not
Right.
starting with right away with houses. Well, I've got four houses and we can see them. We can see them right now.
Oh no, I never do that. I always, with technology the way it is, a lot of times they look at something online and or they're in my home search and I like this, I like that, and they're all over the place. And that's okay because it really just comes down to other things like what area based
Right.
on their life. And then we start getting into the house. Main thing
Yeah.
is getting to know them. I feel the reason I'm in this position and this is my job is because I love helping people. And so I
Sure.
think in order to help somebody, you have to get to know them as a
Sure.
person.
Sure. You absolutely. And for the audience out there, that is a critical thing. Another one is you have to be doing something, and that's Tanya every day. She's action.
Well, yeah, action. That's my motto.
You're
Just
right.
do something. But I probably do a little too much sometimes. But yes, it's going like always. If you're doing something and you're in motion, then you are moving forward.
Right. Right. Well, motion equals emotion. If you're sitting there and you're getting depressed and everything's going inside, you're not moving. You get up
No,
and you move, and things can change.
that's right.
Um, you
So
also go
no,
ahead.
and like for action, if you're serving clients or you're working with other agents, because I mentor agents, so action looks like two totally different things. But I
Right.
think, like you said, you're in motion doing something.
Right, right. Well, actually getting things done in the day. So many agents, um, what do they say? Major in minor activities. You know, they'll be working on some marketing piece and uh, you just have to get it and get it out and make phone calls, talk to people. You know, be a. They say don't be a what is it? Don't be a uh, an agent who no one knows, a private agent,
For agent,
Yeah.
I think that something I came up with the agents I mentor is a lot of agents stop at the start, and
Yeah.
I think it's just hard to
Yeah.
get going or know what to do, and they just freeze.
Yeah.
And that's why I come up with this action thing. I'm like, as long as you're doing something, it's good. But
Yeah.
when you get caught in the working
Right.
through every detail or trying to make your whole life plan,
Well, one of the reasons why you're really successful, and being an icon agent, you don't have to brag. I know that you would rather not do that, but one of the things that's absolutely essential about that is that you are doing a lot of the right things. That you are talking to people and getting deals done. And that means that you have to be organized with your work, and you have to have your system set up that it helps you do that. Now, we're both with the same franchise, and that franchise uses KV Core as its website. And this website is the leading in the country in helping people generate leads for themselves. It has so many bells and whistles. I have no idea all the stuff.
it's a
And
lot.
we talked about this earlier. All you have to do is work on the things that you know. Work on that.
That's
Like
right.
uh, you use Instagram a great deal. I use TikTok. Not a great deal, but I use TikTok. Those are two different platforms. They approach different people. You don't have to do everything. You don't have to. One thing I will say, and I've said it before on this show, if you're an agent and you finish a deal, please, please, please don't take another picture with the people in front of the house and saying, I'm so happy for, Jen and Bob, because all you're doing is you're saying, hey, look what I did for Jen and Bob. It's like, to be a little bit more personal and stop being like everybody else. And I know they think, well, I want people to know what I'm done. Well, there's a lot of ways to do that. Be of value to your community. And if that's all you're posting, I'm sorry, you're just going to be an average agent through most of the time.
I think it's okay to do that if you maybe you spend more time in the write up,
Yeah.
maybe talk about some of the challenges that you
Yeah.
went through, or,
Yeah.
you know, something to tell a story. I think it's okay to do that if you tell a story. But if you're like, hey, look at me, look what I just did, it's probably not the best way to do it. But
I
I
have a
mean, I'm an action person. Something is better than nothing. So if you're,
right.
you
Right, right. I have a story from a number of years ago. I had to help someone. They only had 30 days. This was before the time where it took forever. There were so many people trying to buy. It was right before that time, so you were able to find something, and we found just the right thing. And the listing agent was great. I was the buyer's agent on this one, and my clients, it was their first property, and I knew they liked me. They're still friends. I still see them, but they liked the listing agent. And what they wanted was they wanted me to take that picture. They asked me to take that picture, but they wanted me to be in it, and they wanted me to use the other agent's sign. So I'm there with them with the other agent's sign, and I had the other agent come and take that picture. And it's just funny. It's like I wasn't offended by it at all. It's not my name, but they
it's
said,
fine. It's if
yeah,
it's and happy, that's fine.
yeah, yeah. It's co-broking, and that means that you may run into this person again.
Oh, you
And
will, sure.
yeah,
100%.
always. And a lot of people they want to hammer you, and no, that's not the way to get something done. If it's all for you and it's not a mutual deal, then you're kind of screwed, you know.
Yeah.
Um, I do have people. I have a list of people that are not the best. It's called the Hall of Shame, and
Well, have a
I
list.
I don't always remember their names, but wait a minute, that's familiar.
I
And then
read
I,
your name on there, yeah.
um,
Right. I
talk,
think just do your best and respect each other
yeah,
and willing to stick up for your
yeah,
client.
yeah, yeah. Even if they're being aggressive or something like that, that doesn't mean you have to be aggressive back. I
Yeah.
mean, that's
I've
usually
had agents say all kinds of things and I'm like, okay, I have my inside voice and then I have it's fine. I'm not gonna argue. I don't have to win that battle.
yeah,
So
yeah. I tell people you can be right or you can get a deal done. Which do you
that's
want?
right. That's exactly
It's
right.
like.
Yeah.
So, how long have you been mentoring and coaching people?
So I've been mentoring for 3 years. I love it, but I just became a success certified coach, and I'm so excited about it. I'm
There,
like,
woo, there you go.
I got my certification this morning, and
How
the email.
wonderful.
I know. I'm so thankful. Love the success coaching model and the support. So I'm
That's
going to transitioning a little bit more into the coaching versus mentoring.
sure.
I have a couple agents I'm still mentoring, and once they are graduating the mentor program, then I'm going to probably put more focus on coaching. And
Right.
they're completely different things.
They are.
Yeah.
Describe
So,
the differences.
so mentoring is more okay. If I have a new agent, this is how I did it. This is my path, and I'm going to show you exactly that. It's more of like showing how this way, this way, this way, because that's the only way I know,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
To take somebody that's new through the process.
Yeah.
And coaching is more of helping them figure out their way and develop what they want and how they want to move forward and help them through the process. So
Yeah.
it's a little bit of a different mind shift for me. And especially because I am a high D personality on the disc personality, the disc behavioral. And so I'm more of direct and to the point, which mentoring probably is more
I.
natural, right?
Yeah.
Well, it's more natural to be
Yeah.
direct in this, where coaching, I have to help them come to the decision, which is going to be a little more challenging for
Right.
me.
Right.
And I love challenges and I'm very excited about it.
Yeah.
So
And if you haven't ever been coached, you should be, because
Absolutely. Yeah,
everybody needs a coach. Even coaches have coaches.
that's right.
So
I've
it's a
had a coach work through. Yes, you're 100%.
I've
Yep.
had good ones and I've had bad ones. They cost about the same, so make sure you get the make sure you get a good one.
It's a good one. Right.
Yeah, yeah.
Right.
And from my perspective, the bad coaches were trying to teach me a system that was so rigid and it didn't work with the way that I operate,
It
you
could be
know?
they were doing more of a mentor style versus coaching. And that's the thing with
Right.
mentoring. When you have a new agent, they have to learn the process. I don't care. It just, it doesn't matter to me their style at that point because I want them to learn and understand contracts, the process, how to get to the closing table, how to help that client. And
Yeah.
I don't care about their style because the client's important to me and teaching them the values and the rules and making sure that we're sticking to everything is there. And so with coaching, I care more about, okay, well, now who do you want? I love the development of somebody. And so on the
Right.
coaching side, I can look more at that. And
Right.
that's fun.
Right, right. I often, we've been at it for a while, so we have been to many conferences and sat there with, people who may or may not have sold more than us, but they're sitting up there and they're telling us what to do. I tell everyone those people are like mentors. They're telling you what they did,
Right.
and what
Right.
they did worked for them.
Right.
But I am not high D. I am more inclusive, and I want to hear you. I want to understand your story, and that's my approach. If you're giving me high D coaching, it's never going to work for
Not
me.
gonna work. Right. No, you have to
Be-
go. And there's a process, right? So
right,
the coach, it shouldn't be about the coach and their behavior. It should be
right,
about helping somebody find the answer.
right.
Um, but as a mentor, it works in that way. It's a little easier. But you're right on the because there's many paths to success. I don't think mine's the right way. It's just the way that I went and how I did it. And I'm open to changing and working and learning new ways and evolving too. So
Well, back to your business background. You have a very serious business background, and you've worked in a lot of business situations before you came to real estate. So, how did that impact when you came to real estate? And at the beginning, it's like drinking from a fire hose. It's just
awful.
so much. And how did you organize all that? And how does it work for you right now? Take us through that.
So when in the past I worked for international air freight companies, worked for a couple different ones. Worked for the second largest shipping company in the world as far as international air freight, and it was fascinating because I got all of this training. They did so much. It was very corporate, and we traveled to go to different trainings in different places, and um, that all seemed to play a big role and become very valuable to me as a mentor, as a leader, as somebody that's building my business, not just my real estate with clients, but mentoring and also junior partners, bringing them into the company and showing them how the company works and helping them build their business. Now my success coaching business. And I think that the value in my prior career gave me all these tools
Yeah.
that I learned that they've put a lot of money into. I mean, the money they spent in our education is just unreal. And so I was able to use that and apply it to my business now. Um, just the technology side of it, even everything, because I knew how to, from Excel to Gmail, I mean, I say it sounds basic, but some people come in and they don't know, they don't have a business background. They don't, and so I feel like it was very valuable to
Right.
me to
I
have that
don't have
experience.
a business background. I've been self-employed my whole life. That's
Right.
the only thing I really know is my boss is a jerk. But uh,
People are too now.
right, right. But I come out of the a creative field, and so you know how many creatives it takes to change a light bulb? Does it have to be a light bulb? You know,
I
you
know Yeah, I was like, "Oh, I might change it. Just add in
Yeah.
some decorative lights or something."
Right, right, right. But the thing is, when I approach systems and everything, I'm always reinventing something because that's my creative gene
Sure,
versus somebody who um, grew up in a business system and said, "Well, I'm just going to apply this system because that's what works," and
sure.
and it does. And I think that a lot of agents come from a lot of different backgrounds, but if
Absolutely.
you have a business background, if you have a accounting background, those things translate very well to real estate. Now, if you're just that and you don't have any personal ability to talk to people or listen to them, that's another thing.
Sure.
But there's agents for everybody because there's all different kinds of people.
Right. That's right.
You know, what do you see as the challenges now that you're a success coach? What do you see as the challenges in the next year?
Oh, I feel that feeling you get when you start a new business. I'm feeling a little overwhelmed and excited. I'm like, I got these ideas. I'm going to do this, and I still am very much dedicated to my real estate business.
Right.
Number one, I love what I do. I love selling houses and helping clients. It's just I'm so passionate about it. I still want to help other agents build their business, but now there's this. So I'm trying to figure out. I'm just trying
Right.
to get my mind around like where, how to piece it all together. But I think the beauty in it is that it's going to help on all of those other levels, and it's
Right.
all going to flow together
Right.
and fine. I think this year will be a little challenging as I add different pieces in, but ultimately, I think it's going to benefit my clients and my agents I work with.
Sure. Now I
Yeah,
know I know as a coach that you don't have to coach locally. One of my coaches was from across the country,
that's right.
and we just so that's not what's important. But where is it? Where is it that you are, and where is it that you work?
So I'm in Greenville, South Carolina,
Okay.
and I'm starting a team. Actually, tomorrow I have a conversation with teams at EXP Realty, the teams department, to get my team off and going.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and then my goal is to be at the coast some. So I can be on the coast of South Carolina, which is about 3 to 4 hours away from Greenville, and be able to go back and forth, but have a team here, possibly get
Sure.
team members there, and then run more from that perspective, run a team, run and manage my business. And then yes, as a success coach, I can coach anywhere. And I'm very excited about that because I can be here, there, and coaching clients no
Sure.
matter where they are.
Sure. Um, how would people be in touch with you? How, like our audience, we have 1,000 of you. Thank you so much.
Oh,
And if you're not a subscriber yet, please subscribe. But how would people be in touch with you, Tonya?
well, right now, my phone number 864-417-1837. But Instagram, Tonya Marie Upton. That may change because I might put Tonya Upton team. I'm not sure how I'm gonna change my Instagram name yet, but you can find me on Instagram, follow me there, and everything filters through there. I'm very active on Instagram. So there
What
for right
kinds of things? I've had this conversation with other people, and what kinds of things do you put on Instagram? And there's Facebook, there's Twitter, there's
now. Right.
there's a plethora of ones. But what do you put on Instagram?
Instagram for me is my story. It could be, I could put a video. I just did a video where I was driving through the country of Greenville, South Carolina, and I made a video about that. Or I could put a picture of the fact that I just got my success coaching license. It could be a house that a client just bought,
Right.
something about my children. So I keep Instagram, I kind of flow it through all areas of my life. I have a motto in my mind where people do business with people that they know, like, and trust.
Yes.
And so I don't like to keep it just houses on my Instagram or just business. So I want people to know who I am, and I want to know who they are. And I follow back and get to know
Right.
them.
And no politics. No politics.
No, no, none. With
Because
politics.
we work with people all over the map in terms of politics.
That's
Um,
right.
so
I have a respect for everybody. I love that we live in a country where you can vote any which way you want, and I respect that. So I don't post about it because I would never want to put my ideas and beliefs and push them
right,
on somebody else. Just
right, right. So I do have it differentiated the way that I do it. Instagram is one particular thing. TikTok is another thing. I think you and I talked about it. I have my TikTok is called Learn and Laugh because, boy, in our industry, you're always learning or you're trying to educate someone, but
right.
you have to laugh. There are times like, oh my God, I get back in my car and say, did they say that? Did they do that? You know. At one
I just,
point, my wife asked me, "Can't you get normal clients?" And my question is, what's normal?
there's nothing normal. No one's normal. Everybody.
It's really true, and it's totally fine. I'm fascinated by people. My dad was a home delivery milkman, so I was in and out of people's houses growing up.
Right.
With that, and I was always fascinated by other people's houses, how they lived, what their family was like, what they ate. What the
That's why you're such a good realtor. You like going in everybody's houses and seeing what's going on.
that is a passion of mine. Is houses. I was a paper boy, and I threw papers up to people's. I love porches. I love porches. uh,
I do too. I have a great, actually, I live in a historic house in downtown Greenville.
uh-huh.
And I always say the house was born, especially the older house. I think it was born in the 1930s.
Yeah.
Um, I have a beautiful front porch, and all my neighbors do too, for the most part.
I love porches. I love the community aspect of it. You sit out there and you can read, and people go by, they wave or they don't wave. You know. Uh, I like that though, and especially in Greenville isn't a laid back community. It's a real city. Um,
Oh, people are very surprised
yeah,
from other cities when they find out. They're like, "Oh my gosh, it's so beautiful, and there's so
yeah,
much going on."
yeah. Well, South Carolina is beautiful, but
Mhm.
there's beauty in all. I'm here in Massachusetts. There's many beautiful places in
Yeah.
Massachusetts,
If you just
um,
drive across the country, you'd be amazed what a beautiful country we live in.
and how big and how
Yeah.
long, and
Yes.
how bad the radio is in the middle of this country when you can only get AM and it.
You get XM. I have XM. I don't listen to the radio. I'm just like XM.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Well, you can do that. I haven't driven across the country since they created those things. Now, I don't have that same time. So if I have to go, I have to fly.
That's
It's
right.
just like,
Yeah.
yeah, get there and get there now and come home.
Sure.
But the trip, 10 hours a day, it's going to take you 8 days at least.
Right.
But if you stop and you eat at interesting places and talk to people, I, I I've always been fascinated by that kind of stuff.
That's right. Well,
Um,
that goes back to what we were talking about, getting to know our clients and finding out who they are. It's not what do you want, it's who are you?
yeah, yeah,
It's who are you as a person. And so
yeah,
I think you have to be a there you are kind of person and not a here I
yeah,
am. And once I get to know them, I know exactly what they're looking for. I can
yeah,
help.
yeah. Within the parameters. I mean, they'll always surprise you. Like I brought up the Cape. I've had so many people say, no, no ranch, no ranch. Only,
Closing day, there's a ranch.
yeah, and oh, we just love this, and like, I never bring it up.
I surprise myself. I look at a house, I'm like, because I always think of myself if I would buy this house, and there's houses I'm like, no. And then I walk in, I'm like, this is the best house. I want this house.
Does it feel
Um,
like home?
yeah,
You know too because you can see it on people's face when they come in. you know
right.
um, and there are some tells. One of the tells is they ask a money question. Well, what are the taxes here?
Right.
That kind of stuff. That means that they're interested. The other tell, I haven't seen fail yet. People leave the property and they go out to the front yard and they turn around and they look at the house for about 15 minutes and they're talking back and forth. I
Yes,
always know, yep, I'm
that
getting an
is the
offer. Yeah.
problem.
Yeah.
That's great.
It's such a joy to talk to you. This is a second show we've done. Uh,
Thank you for inviting me. It's so wonderful to be a
yeah, you're a great guest. I wish you incredible amount of success with the coaching, and anybody who's interested in having a great coach, I think you should call Tonya today.
Yes, today would be great.
Well, you got the license today. Thank you for watching another episode of Broker Talk. Tune in next week. We have another fantastic guest. Not as good as Tonya, but we'll do the best we can. Thanks so much, Tonya. Great to
Yeah,
have you here.
thank
Talk,
you.
okay, talk to you soon.